Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today I think we have a pretty sweet one for you. Retro Fighters, they just released their new version of the Brawler 64. Essentially their version of the Funtastic colors for the Nintendo 64. Super excited to check these out. They did do a Kickstarter for these, but they are going to be releasing to the public, I believe, early next week. There's pre-orders on Amazon, Castlevania Games, Retro Fighters website. I'll have links in the description for all of it. But from using the original version, when they revised it, that controller was damn good. I really love it. And today I want to unbox these, just kind of show you the quality behind them, what they look like, how they feel, give you my impressions. I have not opened these yet. I was waiting to check them out on video. So Nintendo 64 is one of my all-time favorite systems. Really love it. I have this jungle green with the Ultra HDMI mod. Pretty sweet stuff. But the Nintendo 64 really does hold a special place in my heart, I guess you could say. It was the second video game system that I bought with my own money. The first being the Super Nintendo. Previously to that, the NES and Atari 2600, you know, the parents bought that stuff. But Nintendo 64 saved up my money. Have a whole long story I probably talked about before. We're not gonna go into that today, but pretty crazy stuff. But I really love it. A lot of cool games. Definitely one of my favorite systems. So with the Retro Fighters, they now have a total of 6 colors. The original gray, and then these 5 Funtastic inspired ones, right? So we've got this purple one, this blue one, the green, this red one, and orange one. So let's go ahead and just start unboxing these guys and taking a look. I'll test it out, give you my impressions. I don't think anything's gonna have changed since the previous version. Originally for me, you know, using Nintendo 64 controllers quite a bit, like these bad boys right here, you know, I'm kind of used to them. But for a lot of people, you know, it's kind of awkward holding this, you know, 3-pronged thing. I'm fine with it for the most part. The biggest issue is the analog stick. This has a GameCube modified stick in it, and some people like them, some people don't. I use it occasionally, but the original stick, it just grinds and winds up going limp over time. So it's nice to have options out there. But these were essentially made to kind of be closer to like current gen style controllers and just be more comfortable. Originally for me, it took a little while getting used to these. Not long, but it's definitely a little different from, you know, when you had your Z button underneath to now you have it as a trigger button. But it's worth it. I mean, it didn't really take too long to get used to it, but definitely if you're a big Nintendo 64 fan, using something that's shaped a little different is going to take a little bit getting used to, right? So there's a bunch of information on the back of the box. If you want to read it, just, you know, telling you the features, but we're going to talk about that stuff right now. But I really do dig that these guys, instead of going cheap on the packaging, that they did a special package for each color controller. Because a lot of times companies, they'll just put like a little check mark. Oh, you got the red one. Oh, you got the green one. It'll just be the same standard packaging for everything. But these guys, you know, they went all out, I think, with making sure there's different colored packaging for each controller with the picture of the controller on there. So that's kind of cool. But here she is. That's the purple one. Oy. Get this bad boy out. So there it is. Looking really nice in my opinion. I love that transparency to it. The little, whatever you call it. It's translucent, right? So we got our new version analog stick versus what, you know, the original Nintendo 64 used. Our D-pad, start, A, B, and our C buttons. Then we also have turbo. So turbo, you can enable it for each button, and then you could clear it with this clear button, so pretty cool. Our Z buttons are now here, L and R right there. And then our little, whatever you call that, your slot for like a rumble pack or a memory card. So boom, let's see if it works. I mean, I know it's gonna work, but just see if it goes in and out easy enough. Because sometimes you get these controllers or third-party controllers and putting in the accessories on stuff like this, they wind up getting stuck or they're hard to, you know, insert or remove. That feels just fine. Fairly similar to an original Nintendo 64 controller. Yeah, it's about the same effort pulling it out, so that's good. The one thing that I do want to point out is that this slot does not support the transfer pack. The transfer pack's just used for Pokemon Stadium. I don't think that's a huge issue. It seems like a lot of the third-party controllers don't work with that. It just is what it is, but it does work with memory cards and rumble packs, so that's definitely cool. The one thing that they added over time when they were doing the Kickstarter was these originally had the gray, or whatever, the original color little plug. They did the transparent for each color, so that's really cool that they wound up doing that instead. The cable length is 10 feet. Comparing that to an original Nintendo 64 controller, these are about 6 feet, maybe a little over, like 6 feet 2 inches or so. So you're getting an extra 4 feet on this bad boy, so really cool stuff. Does feel quality in the hands. Like I said, it took me a little bit getting used to using these types of controllers, but they're really comfortable, they work. You're given those options where you have the Z on both sides, so that's definitely cool. All the buttons work well and feel well. We'll test that in the game in a minute. But I just want to see what these controllers look like, man. I mean, you can look at the box, but I mean, it's better to see them in person, I guess. So that was the purple. Now this is like the reddish color. Oh, man, like, I think the picture on the box versus what's in the box, like, doesn't give it justice. I don't know how to explain it, but it really looks nice. Man, I'm running out of space to put all this packaging. But there's the reddish color one. You do have the little Retro Fighter sticker on the bottom, little QC sticker. Nice stuff. Let's set that one aside. Take a look at the orange one. I'm really curious to see the green one since it matches my system, but we'll get to that one in a moment. Oh, wow. Yeah, the picture on the box it just does not give the actual controller justice. Might as well look at one of these real quick. Quick start instruction manual. I don't even think this is really necessary. You just plug this bad boy in and it works. But it does tell you how the like the turbo functionality works. Has some little special thanks. Has some of their social media stuff printed on there. That's essentially it. Pretty good. But there's this one. Wow, I really do dig the way this one looks. Ugh. We got some sirens in the background. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is really nice. I love this color. So far, this is my favorite one. So far. Just love the plug. I'm glad they went with that and did the same plastic as these. So I know they went through quite a few revisions, spending, you know, a lot of money on the molds because they had to remold these versus the gray ones because of the type of plastic that's used. And I know, like, they were being very picky, so I'm sure, you know, they spent, you know, a lot of extra money making sure these were legit. If you were on the Kickstarter, you should have seen a lot of the updates. They really kept everybody informed on the stuff that was going on. So, dude, yeah, this one's my favorite so far. All right, let's get to the blue one. I have a feeling the blue one's going to be my favorite as well. I guess I could say all of them are my favorite, but whatever. Let's check it out. I said running out of room here. Oh, yes. Oh, man. There's the blue one. Little ice blue. Looking nice. Really digging it. Really cool, these colors, man. I would hope they would do a smoke gray color. That would be dope. That's what I want, a smoke gray one, even though these are all awesome. Oh, here's the green one. This is the one I was waiting for. Ooh-wee. Let's get over there. Take a look. I want to say it matches fairly well to the Funtastic jungle green color. But yes, wow, okay. Awesomeness. The orange one's my favorite by far. But these three colors, these are my favorites. These are the ones nobody's using. They all look awesome though. They all look really awesome. I really dig this. But yeah, the orange is my favorite, and then the green, then the blue, then the purple, then the red. Pretty sweet stuff. Really digging these controllers. So I'm gonna go ahead and try, just use one of these real quick, see if it still feels the same and works well. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay guys, so playing like Super Mario 64, I've played a few games using these, and yeah, it feels good. Like I said, I've already had experience using the original version, so I've gotten accustomed to using these, but I would say realistically, it shouldn't take no more than like 15 minutes of gameplay to really get accustomed to one of these controllers if you use the original Nintendo 64 controllers all the time. If you don't, then this might be second nature to you, if you play Xbox, stuff like that. But for me, like I said, when I first was using these, playing Nintendo 64 a lot, I was using the original controller. So it was a little different getting used to these, but it didn't really take much to get accustomed to how this is. These are really comfortable controllers. I'm really digging them. I'm glad these guys are, they're improving upon their products. They're putting out new stuff. They have that Brawler Gen controller coming out. The 2-in-1, the Sega Saturn / Sega Genesis. That is going to be flipping awesome. Can't wait to get my hands on one of those. But the Nintendo 64 stuff, I am really happy with. Enjoy the Nintendo 64. Really love these controllers. If you want to peep these out, like I said, links will be in the description. I'm highly recommending these. I know there's a lot of companies putting out their versions of Nintendo 64 controllers. Can't wait to check those out as well. But at this moment, these are the ones I was testing out and really digging them. So, and they're available now, right? So, really do appreciate it, guys. Smash that like button. Make sweet-ass love to that notification bell. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. With that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom!